I've tried for the last couple of days to think of the right words to talk about Frances. Three things come to mind every time: her love for her God and her Jesus, her fierce love for her family and how deeply she cared for them, and her love for her church and her community and how tirelessly she worked in those areas. I think about that orange VW van coming into the neighborhood on two wheels. Frances was always in a hurry and always had some place to be. I remember the first time I met her. We had just moved to Savannah on 67th Street, and there was a knock at the door. It was Frances. She had a pound cake. She wanted to make sure we felt welcome and that we knew she was right across the street if we needed anything. A couple of days later, David came over and introduced himself. He invited me to church, and then he invited me to come out and play basketball with him. Surprise, surprise. But probably the fondest memory I have of Frances is after I'd moved back to North Carolina, I went to visit one summer. When I got in the door, Frances looked at me and she said, "Now, Tony, when you're in my house, you're part of my family. Make yourself at home. Help yourself to anything you want. But I expect you to be part of the family in everything that we do." And she meant that. So if David was out cutting grass, I helped cut grass. If there was a rental house to clean out, I went and helped. But it also meant I had the privilege to sit down and eat Sunday dinner with them, to go to church, to visit with relatives. Anything the family did, I was a part of it. I always knew I was loved and accepted, and never doubted that. I also remember a time that she took me to the grocery store. I got there before David and Lacey and Mark had gotten out of school one day. And she said, "Tony, what do you want for breakfast this week?" And I said, "I'm not sure." So she said, "Just go to the grocery store with me." For anyone who never went to the grocery store with Frances, you missed an experience. I went in to pick out my cereal, and Frances went to work. She would park her buggy at the end of an aisle, go up and down the aisle in about a minute, picking stuff up seemingly at random, but knowing exactly what she needed and putting in the buggy and moving to the next aisle. She was done in about 15 minutes. I hadn't even picked out the cereal I wanted yet, and she was ready to go. That's just one of the funny things that I remember about Frances, but I also remember every time I'd get ready to leave, she'd make sure my tank was full of gas, or I had $20 to buy gas on the way home. I never doubted that she cared for me, and I never doubted who she was. I've been privileged and honored to know Frances for more than 40 years, and I count myself lucky to have known her. Thank you.